Hello guys and welcome to SteveKnows. I thought I'd decide to do this video as we're in that period of there's nothing to play, but we have some amazing things to come and get excited for. But until then, we've got some great games to play, so I wanted to do a list where we could play some good games, not spend a lot of money, just to tie us over until the holiday season starts, and often we get great games coming out, and I know for certain there are some fantastic ones on their way. So I'm going to go through a top 10 list of games that are under $15 or under £11 in the UK. The games that I have chosen are not the obvious free titles like Echo Arena or Pavlov or the main games on the Oculus store, but games that I've just stumbled upon. I would also like to know if you do see something you want to try and you don't enjoy it, there is a refund policy where you can return it after 2 hours and get your money back. So anyway, that is enough chin wagging, let's get started. Stones of Harloth, a game that is well worth every penny, a fantasy RPG game with a retro style where the world is designed like an old school retro RPG, except this time you are embodying the main character. And it is beautiful, it has so much charm, this is right up my street. So in this game you have hand-to-hand combat with sword and shield, of which you can find upgrades which give you elemental abilities. The immersion of these weapons in VR was great. There was something about the style and the gameplay that it feels so realistic. When you get hit on the shield, it's like you're actually defending a strike, or when you hit an enemy with the sword, it feels like you're actually swiping one of them. There is also magic in your arsenal as well, so you can cast spells using gestures that can be passive or they can be used to cause damage. Switching between the two whilst you're facing off against a large variety of enemies with different patterns to learn as well is such a rewarding experience. You are the hero and you must save the island from the curse. I would recommend this game even if it wasn't on this under $15 video. Stride. This game is a steal at $10.99 that people call Mirror's Edge of VR, as you have to parkour your way through trials with the ability to also use weapons to shoot oncoming enemies. The game comes in 3 game modes with the future promise of a multiplayer mode coming soon as well. One is Endless Mode, which is where you play the game going on and on and on until you die to get the highest score. A time trial mode where you have a 3-star rating for each course and you have to complete it as fast as possible, and the better you do, the more stars you get. And finally, my favourite mode is where you have to complete objectives, which can be find packages, kill enemies or get to a certain location as you traverse the rooftops of the city, trying to last as long as you can. The movement is great as well for motion sick people, as you have to actually swing up to jump, swing your arms back and forth to sprint, so it can become a very sweaty experience, but very simple to grasp and really great fun. Elven Assassin for $10.99, a classic VR title that is like a VR tower defense game where you can go solo or with a team to prevent enemies breaking through the castle walls. I put this on the list for virtual reality newcomers looking for something to play. As VR veterans, you would have likely been aware of this game already. So you are equipped with a bow to shoot the enemies with the ability to change vantage points to get a better view of your opponents as they approach your walls. Because sometimes they go down valleys behind buildings and archways, and it's just so satisfying to pull back your bow and just get a long distance headshot. There are also spells for you to cast abilities on your arrows for additional damage. This game isn't the best looking game, it's not the most expansive game, but at least for me, I just have so many fond memories, and it's cheap, and it's a classic virtual reality title for some of the veterans. There is a multiplayer mode for you to play with friends as well. Drop Dead Dual Strike, $10.99. One of the first games I played on my Oculus Quest 1, one of my first reviews on the channel as well. And since we've had so many new people coming to VR since the Oculus Quest 1 launch, you may not have come across this game. This is an on-rail shooter, very arcadey, but it's one of my favourite on the system. The amount of content for the price that you pay and the polish of the experience that includes multiplayer modes is well worth it. You have close combat blunt weapons, guns and power-ups as you try to hunt down the evil Dr. Monday. I never got bored playing this game from start to finish. There is so much humour and so much fun to be had, taking off heads and throwing axes like your Kratos. And it now has a new mode called Deadly Defense where you and a friend have to defend an item for 30 rounds of zombies. Are you up for the challenge? Windlands, only $10.99. So this game was on PSVR and it's now available on App Lab for $10.99. It's one of the classic swinging games where you could feel like Spider-Man, but on a large scale as you gain huge air with your swings trying to reach high up floating platforms that look like they're straight from the Avatar movie. The game has simple mechanics that are easy to learn, but they are hard to master, which always provides some addictive gameplay. The game has a bright and simple art style that will beat your eyes with colour. Many would have sneered away at this game with its intense comfort rating back in 2017, but I think many of us are ready to try it again. The game doesn't have much story, it's about escapism and just being. It almost has a therapeutic quality when playing, and maybe that's why I enjoy it so much. And maybe why some of you may not. So we are halfway through the list, and I just wanted to say that if you can think of any other games that you think deserve to be on this list, please comment them down below. We all have different tastes, and maybe it can help someone find something fantastic that they would really enjoy. So thank you guys. Anyway, let's get back to the list. Blast On, only $7.99. A simple game that will have you on your hands and knees crawling across the floor, avoiding enemy fire. This game is very simple in its premise. You face off against someone in a 1v1 duel, and as the match begins, your customized loadout will appear at random around you. You can then pick a weapon and start firing at the enemy trying to shoot them, and whilst doing this, you must also defend and avoid oncoming fire from your opponent. This game gets very sweaty, it is very addictive, and a great party game. There are even customization options to make your own avatar, your own loadout, and change your own play space. So there is a single player experience as well as online as well. Single player, you will face off against minions and ending on the leader of the group, standard recipe for a game. And online, you'll face off against real people around the world. And since this game has launched, they've also added a social hub where you can hang out with fighters. Sport mode. Now this game is not so much a game, but a sandbox for experimentation, and my goodness is it fun. You get so lost in this, and it has some of the best physics the Quest has to offer with a full body character as well. No floaty hands here. Some people call this the boneworks of Quest. This game is expected to get obstacle courses and puzzle levels soon as well. So you have several environments to play around in as well, such as a playground and an office and even more. There's a huge variety of weapons as well that you can spawn in, such as a katana to chop off heads, or guns to attack enemies at range, as you take on waves upon waves of enemies in arena mode. The game also has mods available in the store and purchasable weaponry to add to your arsenal. This game, you just get lost in trying to do tricks with your weapon, using a grappling hook to swing around the map like Spider-Man, or just face off in combat and find as many ways as possible to kill the enemy. Because this game just feels like freedom. It's incredible stuff. Guardians VR, another game that just has so much content for such a great price, is Guardians. This game contains a single player experience with a campaign for you to play in to learn the game, but it then has a cooperative or a multiplayer PvP mode. This game combines first-person shooter action with real-time strategy elements, where you can mine for minerals and then use those minerals to purchase cannons, mechs, robots, and tanks, all to help you on your mission. Your loadout and your character can also be customized to your own style, and you then grab these weapons from a quick menu, or you can pull them off to different locations on your body, such as your back, the hips, and the shoulders. There is also a jetpack that you can use to blast you into the air to get somewhere quick, or to get the high ground. Genuinely love this game so much. It's a fantastic single player title and a fantastic multiplayer title as well. And of course, there has got to be some honorable mentions. I could have put so many more games here, but here are just a few. Graffiti King. You can graffiti in virtual reality, and according to an actual graffiti artist, it's pretty epic. If you like art but not getting in trouble for vandalism, enjoy. Puzzling Places is a puzzle game where you will piece together 3D models captured using photogrammetry. So it's photorealistic visuals, it is stunning. Cosmodread, a game that will require you to have a spare pair of underwear at the ready, because it will scare you. Gladius, this is a blade and sorcery clone for the Oculus Quest where you can cut off limbs, fight lions, all in an arena slasher. Township Tales, some people call this the best game available on the Oculus Quest. It's just so in-depth and incredibly large for the price that you pay. I just unfortunately do not have the time to invest in this kind of game, but if you like crafting, huge worlds and exploring, look no further. Gun Raiders, this is a free-to-play game, and I did recently do a full dedicated video on this gem, so some of you may have already heard about it. This game is about to make its way to the official store as well, but for now it is on AppLab. This is a multiplayer game that has some mechanics that allow for some of the most interesting gameplay I've ever experienced on the Oculus Quest. There is a learning curve though, but once you improve upon your skills, it doesn't get much better than this. So you have a jetpack that allows you to fly into the air or dash around, as well as the ability to climb and throw yourself off the environment. So combining those mechanics with an online shooter results in some crazy gameplay. It also lets you have all of the weapons in game available at once. So you don't choose a loadout, you can select any weapon you want at any point in time. So you can get a sniper headshot across the map and quickly change to a shotgun after and blast some people away that are trying to charge you. Warning though, it is free, so there are Screeches. Jupitergrad, $10.99. This game can reach 120Hz on the Oculus Quest, and it's one of the most fast-paced games that can do this. So that alone I feel is well worth the bargain price for the experience, but the game itself is also a fantastic platformer with additional game modes, with again an easy to learn but tough to master swinging mechanic. The main game is a series of obstacle courses and increasingly difficult obstacles for you to navigate with your water jets and plumbing ropes. But where the game shines for me is the time trial mode, where you have to complete courses in the fastest time possible. You feel like a Russian Spider-Man, and the soundtrack in this game is fantastic. A recent update has also included a gym mode where you can just practice your skills and get ready for the main event. So that is it from me today, guys. As I said, please comment down below what game you believe that deserves a spot on this list, or of course what game you saw on this list that piques your interest. I'll combine as many of those opinions as I find and put them as a pinned comment or in the description so we can share the VR knowledge with everyone. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Hopefully you found a game here you're going to enjoy for under $15 or £11 that can tie you over until Resident Evil 4 is out, and that is soon. Shh. Please consider subscribing for news, updates and games, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Happy gaming, guys. Good day!